Okay, here's what I hope is the final step to this process, and that chunk of plastic you see right there in front of you, that has to come out, and then we should be able to get the heater core out, if I remember correctly. But you have to take the bolts out. You see there's bolts across the bottom of it, and there's some up at top and on the side somewhere over there. So I'm not even going to try to do this live. You know, as I'm doing it, I'm just going to get the thing loose, and then when I have it out in my hand and can show you, you'll see where all the bolts are. It'll just be the easiest way to do it. So I'm going to work on that now and see what we get. Alright guys, well, it is the next afternoon, and I wasted some time today, so I didn't have to get back on this very soon. But back on it, trying to get this completely disassembled, and the music's going again, and the talking and the yakking's going again next door.
Piggy can't stand freaking the side of the field.
You know what my opinion of people that talk all the time like that is? They're long on style or short on substance. They run their mouth their whole lives long and they don't do shit. So, anyway, I want to show you about this thing here. I was covering this last evening and it got dark and you really couldn't see. But this is the it's sideways, but this is this panel that was right here, and it's got bolts everywhere really, but this, you can't see it because you can't get this thing out the way it is. So I can, when I take this out, I'll probably show you. But anyway, this, what it is, you have to maneuver this thing around and kind of turn it this way and just hang it off the side up here. And this is the part that's got the right hand defrost duct connected to it. So you do that, and what we're working on now is this piece here, which I showed you last time. And there's there we go. Okay, there's bolts all over this thing too, and some of them are in a really kind of hard to get to place, but let me show you. For instance, here you got three across the bottom. You got this one here. You got one right there. I've just been show it on the camera right there. I've been working on. You got a few across the top, and you can't really see them, but I'll show you that when we get this all the way out. But anyway, that's what we're going to take out now, and be sure you get all the screws out of it, because if you don't, like I said, this stuff is brachium. It's made of brachium. I know it looks a lot like fiberglass, but it's actually called brachium because it breaks so easy. That's a joke. Don't pull on it until you make sure you got all the bolts out, because I missed one. I missed the one up here. That one. So just took it out. So this thing, cut my light off. I don't think it's gonna be that easy. I got something clipped to it over there, I see. So let me work on that, and I'll catch you up to speed when I'm dealing with that. Okay, here we are looking at the left side of this. That's the left side defroster duct connection, and I just disconnected this little white plastic strap that holds some of these vacuum lines together that go to that actuator. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the vacuum lines that go into the actuator itself. Got a white one here, so if we can get him apart. And a red one over here. Seth, got the red one moved there, so let's see if we can get him to slide off. Hoses and everything are pretty good shape under here. There it is. Let me work on this white one a little. See if I can do with it. You said you'd be ready. Well, it's turning on the connector, but it doesn't. There it comes. So make note of this when you take these things loose. Where they go. Now, let's see if we can get something moving here. And I'm telling you, that console needs to be out of here. If you ever do another one of these that has a console, take the console out first. Alright, now what? Well, thought I had everything disconnected under there. Evidently not. Go back at it again. I'll catch up in a second. Okay, here this thing should come finally. There it is. Hooray. What was holding the thing up was over, golly, right in the sun. Right over here, there's another one of these straps, and these just simply serve to retain some of the vacuum lines under there. So let's take this out and take a look at it. Quick. Yeah, this box is in a lot better shape than the one in that Fury. This one's, the foam's actually still good in it. So here, it's just dirty on the outside, but that's normal. Of course, this one hasn't been subjected to scorching hot temperatures either. so let's see. You hold it up like this. This is how it goes in the car. So you're gonna have a screw there, screw there, screw there, screw there, screw up there, there, there. Shut up, dog. And that's it. So, I guess that's supposed to be there. So anyway, there you go. That's that part of it, and then the here. Back over here. The heater cord now should be right there. There it be. Be careful with these vacuum lines in there. Let's see if this thing will pull out, or am I gonna have to wiggle it out? Come out, come out. Ooh, yeah, do you see that leak? It's busted, all right. Oop, oop, oop. All right, shut it, dog. Get around. There's something. Yeah. Trying not to leak it on my. A little bit, not bad. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's leaking. Yeah, I'd say that's bad. Dang. That's bad. For sure bad. What the fuck do you want? I hate dogs like that. Useless. Yep, bad, bad, bad. Got a seal on it. I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm gonna do about redoing that. They call that a dum-dum seal. Yep, there's more foam. Yeah, I think I got some of that stuff left. I'll just use that. Sure enough. I got a new one, just like this one. Guess where the new one came from? Summit Racing. And I got it here in 2 days. What if this has a I saw a part number on it somewhere. Yeah. Yep. I bet that's the original heater core in here. You see that 045 of 3. That's usually the 45th day of 73. This car was built for 73. So 45 days, that would be the end of about the middle of February. March, April. Yeah. Okay. good stuff. Let's soak that antifreeze up and then get to put it all back together. So I'll probably show you what I decided to do about that seal right there on that box.
Ephemeral polyps.
Man, I tell you what, if I had to hear that voice all week, I'd scream. Okay, let me soak this up and go from there. See ya. Alrighty then, well, we're ready to put these this heater core back in. This is a new one, this is the old one, and something I trial fit this, and something I noticed right away, and I apologize for the banging and the sawing. They're getting this house here behind me ready for some more residents to move into. So what I noticed was this thing didn't fit right, and what it is, the thing is that the tubes are not pointing like they should. This one, you can see, it really sucks the way I'm holding this. You can see the tubes are out of alignment, so that one's going more that way and this one is going more this way. So I'm going to have to take this one and kind of try to carefully go with it, and it should work out pretty good. You know, I've gotten used to text messaging more than I thought I ever would since I got a smartphone. It's addictive. Now I know how other people get addicted. I've been drawn into the trap. But anyway, I text message a little bit with my friends and stuff, and I can tell one of them tries to text to too many people one time because he accidentally called me honey yesterday. He said, "Thanks, honey," and I said, "You're welcome, dear." And then of course he sent me one right after they said, "Just for the record, my wife is honey." So anyway, I thought that was amusing. Okay, let's do some tube bending. Alright guys, well, I think I got this line back up pretty close. I'm going to give it a trial fit here. I ended up moving this around. This thing kind of came loose here, and that's not good. Set your little clamperooski in there. So probably what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and once I get this core in, I'm just going to go ahead and make sure that I can get all that bolted up out front out here, and be good to go on that. I think I've got a piece of, I was telling you, this thing kind of disintegrated on me, but I think I have a piece of foam where I can come up with something that'll work on that. That's that little plate right there that bolts in right there. So before I go through the ordeal of putting this core in and putting all the stuff behind it in, and et cetera, we're going to make sure that we're good to go out here with that situation. So just stay tuned.
We have to fix this house up for the residents.
Okay, well, I've taken another step forward here. I hope it's forward on this heater core, and you'll notice that on this old heater core there's some sealer around this perimeter of the heater core, and a little kind of a sealed in area right here. Some dried up crap right there, which I know what that is, but anyway, so this is what's commonly referred to as dum-dum, D-U-M, and it's just a real thin kind of a, used to be flexible putty, and like used as a sealer, and they put a strip of it around here to seal this against the heater box. And you know, first thing is that you get on the internet, you know, look around for where to buy this stuff at, and you get 15 different people telling you 15 different products in 15 different places. And I just decided quickly that I wasn't going to deal with that. So what I did do is I went and got some, this is called high density foam tape weather strip, door and window. It's 3/16 of an inch thick, I guess you would say, and 3/8 inch wide by 17. And I just simply, it's sticky on one side only, I just simply ran it around the edge here of the new heater core, and it, like I said, it sticks down by itself, and it kind of covers the holes over a little bit, but that's not a problem because it's just foam, and the screws, you can poke those through the holes and no problem. And ran it around right here, and we're supposed to have some sealer right around that joint right there, because that's a, see that, that's a potential leak of hot air. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board in there and see what I've got laying around that I can use in there for that, because that's what this piece of junk is right here that's falling apart. That's just some sort of stuff they poked in there at the factory. So obviously that's the factory heater core. And so yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I'll tell you something, guys, I'm so slow at this stuff anyway, but I'll tell you, I spend probably half my time that I have to devote to projects just simply going around trying to find things that I need, different supplies, you know, stuff like that. I walked around Lowe's and walked and walked, and, you know, if somebody said, well, they've got some of this stuff in the electrical that you can use, it works pretty good, and you go over there and there ain't nothing in the electrical, nothing at all over there I can use. So I found that in just a regular insulation department. So that should work out well. Now I've got to go in there and see if I can locate something to seal that little spot up there. Well, I went into the archives in there and I dug around. I found some plumber's putty that looks like it's about 100 years old, but I got some of it and worked it until I got it limbered up some, and sounds almost kind of dirty, doesn't it? And got it put in there, so that should do the trick. Let's hope it stays in there. That stuff ain't the most adhesive I've ever seen, but hey, you know, do what you can do. So this thing should be ready to go in now, and this is really going to be a, you know, from here on, guys, it's really just going to be a matter of putting things back in the reverse order. So I don't know that I'm going to do a whole lot of clips from here, because I've done plenty so far, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Just if I come into anything that I think you need to see, I'll sure record it. Hey buddy, you lost your gas cap. Well, you know, I was puzzling over what I was going to use to make a seal for this little plate that goes around the heater core outlet tubes in the engine compartment. And I remember that I had some of that foam, those sheets of gray foam left over from doing that heater box on that Fury, but they're in the garbage can out there someplace. Just threw them away a while back, and I was going to start looking for them in there, and I had a vision for some reason of Richard Dreyfuss in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. You remember where I think that was a movie where he was dumping all the stuff out, and I thought, I don't think that's going to happen today. But damn, dude, knocked the windows out of it. Maybe Uncle Phil needs to take the rental house challenge back there. Wouldn't that be something? Oh, the trouble we would get into. Anyway, I remembered that I had hung on to a couple seals type stuff here, and I thought that would be perfect. So I remember where they were, believe it or not. Man, that's amazing. Usually I can't ever find stuff again. You know what these are? I think it'll work fine. The thickness is fine. You know what they are? You give up yet? You guessed it. Part I'm holding is not usable, but these are what's left when I put the new seals in these turn signal lenses. See? So there you go. Had a use for them after all. Man, I tell you what, I've got more to do than I got time to do it. Got to get back on the body work on this thing. I need an assistant. I need a clone, man. That's what I need. Need another me. Or a few more of me. So, okay, I'm going to cut that out and glue it in and call it good. Well, this is done. So, that's in, sealed up. That here core, man, that thing is tweaked. It's going to cause me probably some other issues getting all this back together. But, you know, that the shipping on that thing left something to be desired. I don't understand why people will pack something and they put all kinds of packing on the top of it, but they won't put anything under it in the box. Takes some brains there, doesn't it? But it's in. It's kind of just hanging around in there. That's why you have to really kind of, unless you're just lucky, you kind of gotta fasten it up there where the hose connection is. Now, this is something you need to be sure you do, and that is this plate right here. This is this defroster plate assembly. I don't know how else to really describe it, but it's got the right hand defrost up here, and it's hanging sideways, but this thing has to be put in here and just kind of hang off the bottom lip of the dashboard before you put this plenum cover back on that I've got up on the roof of the car that you saw me take out. It has to come out in order. That thing has to come out first, and then you can take this out, you know, if you want to do some other things in here and need room. But just at least be sure before you put the back part of this box on here that this thing is hanging here in place, because it will not come out without breaking it when that other piece is in place that hold the heater core in. So make sure you do that. Otherwise you'll mess it up and you'll blame me.